I really enjoyed our time together in the first Zoom session on Wednesday and look forward to our time together next Wednesday. I wanted to take just a minute to go back and just reiterate a couple of the points that were made in the session on Wednesday that I think are important for you to really have under your belts going forward. One of the sayings that I heard my mom and dad and others of that generation say so many times is, if we can send a man to the moon, then why can't we solve poverty or find housing for homeless people or something like that? And it's a statement that really brings to mind what we were talking about on Wednesday, and that it's the idea that as complex as it is sending someone in a rocket ship to the moon and returning them safely to Earth, that is a different kind of problem than an adaptive challenge. It's a technical problem. It's a complex technical problem, but it's one that if you sort of do everything in the right sequence with the right parts and the right people, you can succeed and accomplish that task. But as we'll discuss in this class, there are a number of issues that we're looking at together that represent something more like an adaptive challenge. So technical problems, adaptive challenges, both a part of the reality of your organizations, both important going forward, but very different, and we need to understand that. We talked a little bit about polarities last Wednesday, and in the context of a couple of terms: opposable mind, integrative thinking, both and thinking, which all really refer to the same idea. And to really bring some light to those ideas, we use this concept of polarity, this idea that there are these two truths that are both important values that we can hold together in kind of a dynamic tension with one another. And that if we let go of either one of those two truths, then the remaining thing we have is somehow less whole, less valuable, less true to sort of reality as we know it. We used a couple of examples. We talked about sustainability for an organization on the one hand, which refers mainly to the economics, and then on the other side we talked about social impact. They're obviously both important. And I want to just underscore a couple of points we made with regard to those. All polarities share the same predictable dynamics. And I think as you begin to look at your world, you will begin to notice more of these polarities around you. And they all sort of have these same sort of characteristics. And we talked about when you over-focus on one value to the neglect of the other polarity, then you end up falling to the downside of the chosen value. And that results in sort of a vicious cycle where you bounce amongst the downside of both values. If you have questions about that, we can talk about that again this coming Wednesday. So, in conclusion, solving problems, a big part of your job is working with a nonprofit organization, a social purpose organization, but also understanding and leveraging polarities is also going to be an important part of your work going forward, going to be an effective 21st century leader. So see you on Wednesday. Make sure you look at the Heifetz reading in particular, where he talks more about leadership in the face of these adaptive challenges that we discussed. Okay? See you soon. Bye-bye.